Okie dokie, everybody. I'm gonna keep this brief. I recorded this same thing like 2 weeks ago after I finished this game, and it was like 50 fucking minutes long. So, here we go. From the top. Okay, everybody. I'm gonna do... I'm reviewing Indiana Jones in the Infernal Machine for the Nintendo 64, which, for any of you who know anything at all about the Nintendo 64, is a pretty insane statement to be making in 2023. Yeah, this game's one of those ones. It's not like super fucking rare, but it's a little bit expensive. I think, let's take a look at the going rates. Usually it's between like fucking $60 and then it can get up to like $400 or whatever if you really want like a complete in-box kind of experience. That said, I didn't fucking buy it. No, sir. It was my birthday. It was my fucking birthday, ladies and gentlemen. To quote Top Chef's Tom Colicchio, it was my birthday. My mom asked me this year what I wanted for my birthday, and I was like, Ma, I'm going to be real with you. I want Indiana Jones for the Nintendo 64. I'll help pay for it. I offered to help pay for it. Let me put that out there right now. But I think the copy she ended up getting me for my birthday was like between $60 and $80 or something like that. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. So I went about playing it pretty much throughout the entire month of October, and it was really, really fun. I've been wanting to play this game for ages, ever since, like, back when Will and I downloaded, like, the fucking 64 emulator. Don't step on that, Mo. Would you move, please? Would you get out of the fucking way? You gotta move. You have to move. Yeah, that's good. Ever since we had that, like, Project 64 emulator and kind of tooled around with this, I had wanted to play it. For the simple reason that it looks awesome and it's essentially like a Zelda game. Let me start by saying that for any of you who are like me and have literally dreamt of a third Nintendo 64 Zelda title, look no further. This is it. This is the game. So I've always wanted to play this. Also, it's like the fourth or fifth game in the Factor 5 LucasArts Nintendo 64 gangbang thing. And I believe it's the last one in that cycle. Which is pretty cool because I've now played all of them and I think all of them are totally great, aside from Shadows of the Empire, which is it's too early for me to play that. So yeah, I played it. A little bit of backstory about that whole thing. I believe that this first came out for the PC, and the PC version, I believe, is what most people kind of review or talk about when they describe the game being like, unfucking playable, man. The controls are fucking horrible, man. If you can get over the freaking controls, then it's actually kind of good. I think that's the version everyone's complaining about. Because I did a little bit of reading, and yeah, it sounds like that version. Like, the control scheme is really fucking weird and difficult, and, lining up jumps is kind of tricky. And so that team ended up like porting it to the 64, fixed a bunch of shit, improved a bunch of shit. I'm pretty sure that the 64 version is like the version to play if you can do it. I would never want to play this on PC. The game looks so fucking good on a CRT. Why would I want to play it on a fucking PC? I don't need to see that crisp, fucking PC looking shit. Wow, you sound really eloquent this morning, Jack. Yeah, I know. So, yeah, I played it on the 64. They ported it to the 64. They made like a Game Boy Color copy as well. But the weird thing the reason that this game is so fucking difficult to get or expensive or what have you is that this was like the early days of like the fucking internet. And so they're like, yeah, fuck it, let's try it. And so, Mo, you have got to move, my guy. Dude, get off. Yeah, go over there. This is the early days of the internet, and so in order to get a copy of this game, you either had to buy it from LucasArts by like writing in or using their website, rather. That's the entire point of this anecdote, is that... Anyway, or you had to go to fucking... What the hell is that place called? Blockbuster. You had to go to Blockbuster, and I think you could rent it to buy it or something like that. You could buy it from Blockbuster. A bunch of the copies you see on eBay still have like the Blockbuster sticker on it. You couldn't get it anywhere else, and for that reason, the game is like relatively expensive. Also relatively inexpensive. This kind of hits that sweet spot of not being fucking $500 like many of the other cool looking titles I would love to play. And so I got it. My fucking mother fucking got it for me. Happy birthday to me, everybody. This is my big birthday video. I'm kidding. And fucking Noah's dad is doing the goddamn... He's vacuuming like right above my head. Can you hear that, everybody? He's fucking rage vacuuming yesterday morning. He's fucking yelling at Noah. He's like, put your pants on, goddammit. I hate it when you do this. He's flipping his little shit. Blowing his little 5'5" stack. It was hilarious. But then it woke me up. Dude wakes me up every goddamn morning, like 5 a.m. Leaps out of bed, lands on both heels as loud as possible, and then he's like, I'm gonna do a couple laps around the apartment. Let me put my stomping shoes on, and then just fucking wreaks havoc. Or starts shouting at his son. God bless him. Okay, last side note, God, I hope he never sees this video. I found Noah's dad's, like, socials because there was some pet food, cat food or whatever, in the mail area of my building, and I mistakenly thought it was for me, and then I saw it was the apartment number. It was the apartment above mine, and I wrote his name down, and I started doing my fucking research, and the hilarious thing about that is that I know no more about him than I did prior to finding his socials, because all of his socials just say Noah's dad. Like, that's his bio across every single one of them, which I think is hilarious. You know, the game it's like typical Indiana Jones fare. You know, there's the thing, and the fucking Russians are after the thing, and there's a beautiful baby who's also after the thing, and now Indiana Jones, for some reason, is the only one who's actually capable of getting the thing. The thing, what is that called? Like a MacGuffin? Is that what I'm... Definition, let me see. An object or... Yeah, okay, that's the thing. The MacGuffin in this game is like... These machine parts that somehow power some fucking spaceship bullshit, I don't know, in the Tower of Babel, in Babylon. And everyone wants it. I don't really know why they want it. Presumably world power. I have no fucking idea. This story is really just like, I mean, what the fuck do you expect? It's a fucking video game, and for all you nerds out there who are like, video games are capable of narrative experiences, I don't give a shit, okay? This is a Nintendo 64 fucking game. Like, this, it ain't winning no Oscars, all right? And for that reason, I'm not going to talk about it that much. It's totally serviceable. You know, the cutscenes are kind of cool. The voice acting's fine. It's serviceable. It's negligible. That's approximately it. The rest of the game is you by yourself in these, like, massive, massive dungeons. Yeah. Okay, so that's the story. We went into the fucking story. Okay, what about the... God, this one is so much worse than my other one. Okay, what about the actual game? Where do we start with this? Okay, then you start the game. right? And the game has you going to so many cool locations. You begin the game in like Nevada, and then you go to Babylon, then you go to the Tibetan snowy mountains, you go to Mexico, you go to Peru, you go to the Philippines. Like, you're all over the fucking place. The game sees you on a globe-trotting adventure. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it for an Indiana Jones game? Yeah, so the game is basically like a dungeon-based sort of Zelda-like thing. There's no hub world. You basically play... There's like 17 or 18 levels in the game. The levels are sometimes self-contained. Sometimes a dungeon will span like 2 or 3 levels. So in reality, there's probably like 6 or 7 like main areas that you go to, spread up over like 17 or so levels. Which is kind of nice because you can... They essentially serve as like checkpoints should you like go back later, like I have to fucking do, and do the treasure hunting shit so that you can unlock the bonus level. Full disclosure, I have not unlocked the bonus level. Okay, just fucking chill the fuck out. I'm working on it. Okay. So I kind of like the way it's set up. And on that note, the save structure is also kind of cool. It's not even cool. It's just like, I'm just glad they did it the way they did it. They sort of did it like Tomb Raider in that you just save wherever the fuck you're at, and it usually works. You save, and then it will, if you die, should you die, it'll kind of start you at like a more recent checkpoint. It's actually, now that I'm thinking about it and talking about it out loud, it makes no fucking sense how it works, because there are times where I've completed a puzzle and then died, and I had to redo that puzzle. I'm like, fuck. So I completed the puzzle, and then I've saved the fucking game so that when I die, if I die, I don't have to do the puzzle, but then I die and have to redo the fucking puzzle. So the save structure is like relative, apparently. I have no idea. But then sometimes you do an instant death, which is kind of funny. There's a lot of funny visual humor in this game, whether or not it's intentional or not, where sometimes you'll jump a little bit too far and he just fucking collapses. He collapses like a fucking Family Guy character will collapse, and the sound will cut. It's pretty funny. But when that happens, a lot of times it'll just start you back on the ledge that you fucking died from. So I don't really understand how it works. It's a relatively painless kind of thing they got going on. So that's the save structure. That's the structure of the game. You're just playing level after level after level. What's next? All right, the gameplay itself. Well, as you can imagine, it's sort of like a Zelda Tomb Raider mixture of, like, I'm using big air quotes here, platforming and combat. It's mainly a puzzle game. You're just solving these huge, huge puzzles in sequential order the whole time. Like, it's a puzzle game, first and foremost. The combat is there so that you have a little bit of risk of dying. And I don't know, probably because I don't know why there's combat, frankly. I think the boss fights are kind of fun, because they do the whole Zelda thing where it's like, you gotta use your item to solve the fucking puzzle, and the boss fights are just puzzles. There's no real combat involved. The rest of the game, it's like, yeah, occasionally you gotta shoot like a fucking dog with your gun in the head. You don't really have to do that, but it's like, yeah, you're shooting like a fucking snake. And why do you have to shoot the snake? Because if you don't shoot the snake bites you, and then you get poisoned, and then you die eventually. It's like, it's just for items. It's this weird, like, well, we have the items, you gotta use the items. You don't really need the items unless something triggers that, so we're putting fucking snakes in the game. It's kind of stupid, frankly. Again, is it unforgivable? No, it's not. It's really not. It's super easy. Ultimately painless, and they don't really respawn. Like, if you clear a room or whatever, they ain't coming back, which is cool, because that would have pissed me off. Yeah, the game is mostly like an exploration game, which does include some of, again, air quotes, platforming. Why do I say air quotes? Because people always compare this game to Tomb Raider. And they're like, if you can get behind the fucking controls and if you can, like, actually, like, figure out how to do the jumping, then it's actually kind of fun. Whereas, like, I bought a Tomb Raider game to compare it to this game. And Tomb Raider is fucking ridiculous. Like, walking is difficult in a Tomb Raider game, let alone fucking doing the jumping thing where you got to go back and forward. Like, anyone comparing this to Tomb Raider is fucking stupid and has clearly never played a Tomb Raider game in actuality. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this game is so much easier and feels so much better than a Tomb Raider game. I'm sure once you really start crushing puzzles in Tomb Raider, it's got to feel pretty good. But right out of the box, the comparison is like, you can only compare the fact that in both games you are literally raiding tombs. Like, that's really the only place the comparison can stand without completely toppling over immediately. So there's platforming, which is admittedly pretty fun. There's like a lot of jumping, climbing. A lot of the puzzles are sort of like, I don't know, you have to climb to the top of the thing to solve the puzzle. Just a lot of like movement throughout the game from one section of the dungeon to the other section of the dungeon is jumping and crawling and climbing and, taking big risky jumps and that kind of thing. So for that reason, it's pretty, I thought it was pretty fun. It made me want to play Tomb Raider because I really enjoyed like this sort of fun adventure platforming. But, it doesn't push it all that far. What it does do is establish it as like a routine thing that you got to do. And so, yeah, by the end of the game, you're pretty good at it, but there's not much of like a learning curve there is what I'm getting at. And they don't really, at the end of the game, you're not doing like extremely insane platforming. You're just doing more of it. So in that regard, yeah, it's just like, it's more about like how you move through the game is what the platforming boils down to. So what's the meat of the game? The meat of the game is solving puzzles and exploring these huge, huge dungeons. And the puzzles are really good in that a lot of them are very difficult. They sort of like, there's a lot of, I'm trying to think of an example right now. I don't know. There's like a lot of variety in terms of like the puzzle solving. The one that I can think of right off the top of my head is in like there's a minecart level. You got to go around in a circle. You're flipping tracks to like access these new areas. You do it enough times and you're like, well, how do I get to this one door? You see the door. You're in the same room as the door. There's a track that leads to the door. But in order to get to that door, you would have to like completely reverse the direction of the minecart, right? And I went around a million times. And I'm like, I don't know how to do this. And then I was like, well, it's in the opposite direction, Jack. Why don't you try it? Can you reverse the minecart? And sure enough, you can reverse the minecart. You pull around backwards and you enter this room that you couldn't get to before. Now, all of you, I can already hear the crowd roaring right now, calling me an idiot, calling me stupid, small, even. This is what I gotta fucking say to you. Fucking kill yourself and log off, okay? Anyway, that's maybe not the most extreme example, but there's a lot of these puzzles that sort of hide right under your nose or require like, what if I did try it this way? I can't really think about any more of them, nor am I going to try to right now. But yeah, the puzzles are great. I would say at their easiest, it's like moving a block into the right place. At their most difficult, it is sort of like, there's a couple like missed like puzzles where it's like, well, I flip this switch and I go all the way to the other side of the fucking dungeon and it takes me 20 minutes and we'll see if that does something. A lot of it's that kind of thing, trial and error. A lot of it is just like looking at something and being like, well, how does it work? How does this fucking, how do these gears work? How does it fit together? What would it do? Just sort of being able to imagine what, like how like the system works. And they do a pretty good job at that, in that if there is like a machine that you have to operate, for instance, they show you the entire thing, and you can just sort of solve it by looking at it. And yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty fucking great. A lot of the puzzles are pretty hard. Some of them get a little buggy, which is obnoxious. But yeah, ultimately, really great puzzle game. So, what else is there? What other meat is there? Well, it's really, for me, it's just the dungeons. The fucking dungeons are so cool. They're huge, they're vast, they're very diverse. The wall textures are incredible. There's no fogging in the game whatsoever, which is a complete rarity as far as the Nintendo 64 goes. Like, seriously, there's no fogging at all. It must be one of the most robust, well-functioning games on the entire system. You know, there's no loading, there's nothing. The levels are fucking huge. They're so huge. And they're super beautiful, you know, like some of them it looks like Xbox half the time. Like the fidelity of the PC in translation to the 64 is just like pretty absurd, you know. So it looks great, it functions well. The adventure, or the exploratory elements is really fun, and you're totally alone the whole time. You know, you're alone exploring these huge, you know, empty temples oftentimes, and yeah, you get really into it. It's just there's so much atmosphere in this game, and because you're in these diverse locations, there's always something to look forward to. You know, you're on a ship in the middle of the fucking sea at night. You're, you know, going through pyramids. You're going through a monastery. There's a lot of really cool levels, a lot of very fun visual ideas. And yeah, the game just looks fucking insane. Everything I could say about this, I have said about like the Zelda games, essentially. So I'm not really going to go into it, which might make this kind of a boring review. However, I don't feel like it. Now, what are the gripes people have about the fucking game? Well, everyone complains about the controls, which, as I said, I believe is really limited to the PC. Because if you have problems with the controls on the 64, you're either like 3.5 years old, or you're just like legitimately fucking stupid. Like really, really stupid. Because it's just like, it functions so well. It's so intuitive. It uses the exact same control scheme as Zelda. You know, it's got Z targeting. It's got the first person point of view. It's got the C-pad kind of thing. It's, for anyone who has ever played a Zelda game, it's as immediately accessible as those games are. So that gripe is sort of off the table. Really, it's pretty glitchy. You know, there were multiple times where, you know, I got stuck on a rock and I couldn't move and I had to reset the game, or the game just sort of will freeze, you know, and does that thing where it just plays whatever sound effect was playing, like it just totally freezes and you have to reset it. When that happened, it was sort of a pain in the ass. That shit pissed me off. Luckily, the save system is fairly forgiving, and you know, if you have to like replay 20 minutes of the game, like boo-hoo, you got to replay 20 minutes of the game. Like, it's fine, right? Other than that, there's a lot of like, the game will smudge a lot, like certain, I don't know, frames or pixels or whatever areas will kind of get stuck and move. You know, it's a fucking older game. It's a Nintendo 64 game. All right, like this shit happens. This is par for the course when you're playing these old games. I saw a couple reviews that noted it as unforgivable. I'm like, what? How incapable are you of being like, okay, well, it's like, oh God. Man, I can't fucking talk this morning. Basically, yeah, it's an older game. It glitches out, which is true. It does. All right? No one's wrong in pointing that out. People are just annoying and complaining about it because it's a pretty negligible sort of quirk, the game. I would say it's a quirk. It's not even, it's not a bad thing. It's just a quirky thing. You know, honestly, kind of cool. I'm like, wow, look at that. That's how it works. You can see, I don't know, you know, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't have anything to say. The game's fucking awesome. It feels like you're playing something that should just never have been. You know, it's one of these weird pieces of media for me anyway, where I'm like, God damn, if I had played this as a child, this shit would have rocked my world. It would have just been so, like, mysterious and amazing. And of course it still is, but, you know, I'm older now and looking at it with, like, a little bit more of a critical lens. But yeah, I enjoyed every fucking second of this. I played this, like, all throughout October. I found it to be such a great fucking game to sink a lot of time into. And, yeah, it really delivers on, like, the dungeon thing. You can sit down for, like, 3 or 4 hours and, you know, have a couple beers and just fucking enjoy the hell out of it. So fun. Super fun. Okay, here's one more complaint. This is the only complaint. There's no real soundtrack. You got the opening score or whatever, you know, the typical kind of thing. Otherwise, there's really no soundtrack. The pause menu has, like, a soundtrack that plays on loop that does get annoying. I wish that there was an option to turn that shit off. And otherwise, the ambient sound isn't that great. I think it's functional. There's a lot of really nice ideas, but otherwise, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's pretty lacking in what could have been pretty excellent, you know? Like every other LucasArts game that I've played has, like, the most incredible ambient noise, like really fine attention to detail. And this game just didn't have it. The last thing I'll say is that if anyone out there has a 64 and wants to borrow this game, let me know. I'll let you play it for free. I will let you play it for free as long as you cover, like, the $5 shipping or whatever, or my subway fare if you're in the city. Seriously, because more people should play this game, and the idea that there's, like, a $90 paywall frequently and that it's not everyone's birthday all the time is ridiculous to me. And I wish someone let me borrow it when I wanted to play it. So, yeah, if you want to play it, let me know. Bye.